Buying an existing business instead of starting one from scratch? That is the dream of many entrepreneurs, right? No more struggling to find your first customers or dealing with a startup's headaches. You get to walk into an up-and-running operation from day one. But hold up! Buying a business is also a huge risk. I hope you know that. If you need to know what you're doing, there are so many potential pitfalls that could come back to bite you later on. From inheriting hidden debts and legal issues to buying into a fad or dying industry, the consequences of making the wrong choice can be disastrous. That's why in this video, I'm going to reveal the 7 critical areas every aspiring business buyer in the UK absolutely must investigate before buying any businesses. Ignore this due diligence at your own peril. I'll walk you through exactly how to verify the financials aren't cooked, evaluate the real reason for the sale, assess the competition, scrutinize the operations, and much more. This is your comprehensive guide to buying a business the smart way. And don't worry, I'll also share my top negotiation tips towards the end to help you get the best deal possible. You won't want to miss it. So let's dive right in. Buying a business isn't like buying a product off the shelf. It's a huge financial commitment that comes with significant risks. In fact, studies show that around 20% of business acquisitions fail within the first year and up to 50% fail within 3-5 years. Those are some pretty scary statistics. But the good news is that by doing your due diligence and knowing what to look for, you can dramatically increase your chances of success, which is exactly what I'm going to cover in this video. So what are the key things every smart buyer needs to consider before taking the move? Let's dive in. 1. Solid financials. This one is obvious, but you'd be surprised how many buyers fail to properly scrutinize the business's financial records. Make sure you go through at least 3 years of income statements, balance sheets, tax returns, and any other relevant documents with a fine-tooth comb. Look for any inconsistencies, unexplained dips in revenue, or spikes in expenses. Analyze things like profit margins, cash flow, debt load, and accounts receivable, payable cycles. If the numbers don't add up or seem too good to be true, take it as a huge red flag. 2. Verifiable reason for selling. When a business owner is selling, always ask why. And don't just take their word for it. Look for objective evidence to back up their stated reason. Are they just ready to retire after decades of hard work? Or are they getting out while the getting is still halfway decent? If it's the latter, that could indicate deeper issues with the company, the industry, or even just the local market. Lots of seemingly great businesses are put up for sale simply because the writing is on the wall, and the owner wants to cash out before it all goes downhill. 3. Sustainable competitive advantage. In today's world, few businesses can afford to rest on their achievement. You need to make sure the company you're buying has a real, defensible, competitive edge that will allow it to keep thriving in the years to come. Whether it's through proprietary technology, an exceptional brand reputation, powerfully loyal customers, or unmatchable economies of scale, the business needs something that gives it a solid advantage over current and future rivals. Otherwise, you could find your profits slipping away as the market landscape shifts. 4. Dependence on the current owner. This is a make-or-break factor for so many buyers. If a company's success is heavily tied to the skills, relationships, and personal involvement of the current owner, that's an epic risk once that owner is out of the picture. Really dig into how dependent the business is on the current leadership, and put practices in place ahead of time to help transfer core competencies and key accounts to the new management. If too much weight falls on the previous owner's shoulders, you could be in for a rough transition. 5. Solid growth potential. Even if a company has been successfully maintaining itself, that's not necessarily good enough depending on your goals as a buyer. You'll want to look for clear opportunities to actually grow the business after you take over through economies of scale, new products, services, expansion into new markets, etc. Stagnation is the bitter enemy of acquisitions. If there's no real way to take the business to the next level and increase its revenue profit year over year, you may be better off walking away. 6. Valuation and asset value. Obviously, you don't want to overpay when buying a business, but simply looking at the stated asking price isn't enough. You need to analyze the company's valuation based on metrics like cash flow, growth projections, asset value, and more. In some cases, the value of tangible and intangible assets like equipment, inventory, intellectual property, and brands can potentially justify a higher purchase price. Don't just take the seller's word on the valuation. Get professional assessments done to ensure you're getting a fair deal. 7. Smooth operational transition. Buying a business isn't just about inheriting the financials and assets. You're also taking on the entire operation. Employees, vendors, systems, processes, and all. Make sure you have an exhaustive plan for how core operations will be transitioned, with as little disruption as possible. Identify any key personnel you'll need to retain. Assess the stability of your supply chains. Evaluate current tech and processes for potential upgrades and more. Operational hiccups can easily torpedo growth and profitability in those critical first months under new ownership. So ensure to put that at the back of your mind when buying new businesses. I know you might have several questions running through your mind. Let's try to answer some of them here. Can a foreigner own a company in the UK? Yes, foreign individuals and companies can own and control companies in the UK. There are no residency or citizenship requirements for company ownership. Is it worth setting up a limited company in the UK? Setting up a limited company can provide benefits like limited liability protection, potentially more favorable tax treatment, and added credibility. However, it also comes with more admin and compliance requirements. Can you buy shares in a limited company instead of the entire company? Absolutely. Rather than acquiring 100% ownership, investors can purchase a percentage stake in a limited company by buying shares from the current owners. What costs are associated with running a business in the UK? Some major costs include corporation tax, employee wages, benefits, rent for office premises, equipment, supplies, professional fees, marketing expenses, and required licenses, permits. What are the benefits of a limited company in the UK? Key benefits include limited liability. Shareholders' personal assets are protected, tax efficiency through corporate tax rates, potential tax advantages for extracting profits, added credibility, and transferable ownership through shares. There you have it, friends. 7 crucial areas that anyone looking to buy a business in the UK needs to prioritize in their due diligence process. I know it's a lot to take in, but making smart evaluations upfront is indispensable for ensuring long-term success. As a quick recap, we covered analyzing the financials, verifying the reason for the sale, evaluating competitive advantages, assessing owner dependencies, growth potential, asset valuation, and having an operational transition plan. If you found value in this video, show me some love by liking and commenting down below. Let me know what your biggest concerns or questions are when it comes to buying an existing business. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss another business video from me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.